In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a creepy monster phone case and jack-o'-lantern sketchbook cover. Let's get started. Hey everyone, Ace of Clay here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another sculpting video. But if you're new here, I'm a sculptor and every week I make a new sculpture, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos. Today we're continuing spooky season with not one, but two awesome Halloween polymer clay projects. We will be making this creepy monster mouth phone case and this awesome jack-o'-lantern sketchbook cover. Again, this is a 2-in-1, so 2 projects, 1 video, and I'm really excited to share them with you. But before we get started, don't forget about my brand new digital coloring book. It is available only for Halloween season, and it features some of my most popular characters. It's a digital coloring book, meaning you can download it and color it on your iPad or tablet, or print out the pages and color them traditionally. It is only available for a limited time, so you gotta click the link in the description box below to get yours before it's gone. And then don't forget to join my Facebook group, Snakes of Clay, whether you're a sculptor yourself or you just like looking at other people's sculptures. We'd love to have you. We've recently partnered officially with Sculpey, so we're doing some cool giveaways and contests with them. There will be one every month going forward, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So if you're on Facebook and you get a chance to check it out, we'd love to see you there. Now, without further ado, let's get into these 2 Halloween projects. Okay, let's get started on our phone case. For this, I want to create a large monster mouth, sort of frowning on the back here. It's going to have lots of teeth. It's going to be really fleshy and really creepy. So to start this, I'm going to first make the teeth out of some translucent Sculpey Primo. I'm going to make these and then pre-bake them so I can just poke them into the clay when they're hard. So let's go ahead and do that and bake them, and then we can come back and start sculpting the rest. I've already conditioned my clay here with my pasta maker, and I'm just going to start shaping out the teeth, making these long, skinny cone shapes by just rolling my clay on the surface, sort of creating a snake of clay, and then just getting tighter at the end so it's nice and pointy, like that. This might be a little too big for the size phone case we're working with, so make it a little smaller. Okay, that should be enough. I'm gonna go ahead, throw these in the oven, and then we'll come back and start sculpting the rest of the case. All right, our teeth look pretty good. I'm very happy with how they turned out. And always make sure that you're using Sculpey Primo translucent and not just Sculpey 3, because Primo stays a little flexible and it's not gonna break, especially if you're putting these on a phone case. It's going to get a little bit of wear and tear. So make sure that you're using Primo so that it's more durable. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and start the surface of the phone case, which will be like the skin areas around the edges here, and then we'll cut out the area for the mouth, start doing that. And I've got 2 shades of red here. I've got like sort of this lighter red, pinkish color for the gums, and then this darker red that I mixed for the back of the mouth. This will go behind the teeth, and the reason why I'm using colored clay is because once I apply the teeth, it's gonna be really hard to get a paintbrush behind them, so this will ensure that the mouth is already colored before I do that. So let's get started on the fun part now. The hardest part about adding clay to a phone case is making sure that it fits properly. So this part, make sure you take your time on it. I've got my clay rolled through my pasta maker on the thickest setting here. I'm just going to place it on top of the case, and I'm going to cut out the shape that I want. And I'm really just going to keep messing with it until it perfectly fits. We're going to start there and then just trim it down as we go. The camera is so big, I don't even think I want to put any around that top and the side part here, so we're just going to cut that off. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max case that I can't even use because I still have an iPhone 11. And then we are not going to bake the clay on the case. We're going to bake it separately. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Now I'm going to gently peel it off the case, and we're going to take it from here on my work surface, and then of course we're just going to have to keep trimming and shaping and trimming and shaping up until the very end. I'm going to go ahead and add the dark red to the back there. Press that down. Now I do want to add a couple details to this before I start adding things around it. So we're going to sort of shape out the back of the throat. Whether we see it or not, at least it's there. Right, now that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the gums. It's going to start looking a little weird for a while, but it's going to pay off, don't worry. Okay, now that we have that done, should look something like this. Kind of weird. I'm going to go ahead and now we're going to add the teeth, but I'm just going to add a little bit of Bake and Bond or oven baked clay adhesive to the gums just so the teeth adhere really well. This does dry pretty clear, so you don't have to worry about it altering the color of the clay. It's going to be like it's really not even there. All right, now for the fun part, I'm going to start pushing in each tooth. And then as I do that, you can see it's going to push out the gums a little bit, and I want that. All right, that was fun. This is what we're left with. Let's go ahead and add it back to that phone case. Make sure we didn't get too big. We pretty much stayed the right size, so let's go ahead and just trim this top part down here. And we're gonna mess with it more later too, but just so we don't get too far off base, let's get this cut out. All right, cool. The hard part is pretty much done. Now I'm gonna go in and start adding the rest of the skin, like the upper and lower lip area. All right, now that we have this, let's go ahead and start adding some gross little textures. I want to put some veins on here. We're going to add some wrinkles, some skin texture, and a whole lot of good stuff. Maybe some like warts and bumps. But let's go ahead and get started on that.
Alright, now before we get into the rest of the video, let's take a second to talk about our sponsor.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? I know I've been here before, I know a lot of us have, and I know the importance of mental health, especially when it comes to sculpting and making something brand new every week. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your very own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating within 48 hours. It is not a crisis line, it is not self-help, it is professional counseling done securely online. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 15,000 counselor network, which may not be locally available in many areas. The service is available worldwide. You can log into your account at any time and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely, thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to live a happier life starting today. Visit betterhelp.com/aceofclay, that's better HELP, and join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Now, because you're an Ace of Clay subscriber or you're watching this video, you can save 10% on your first month of BetterHelp by going to betterhelp.com/aceofclay. Now let's get back to the video. All right, that looks pretty good. Our creepy phone case is ready to bake. I'm going to go ahead and gently peel this off, and I'm going to place it on a piece of glass, and I'm going to bake it on top of the glass just because the glass is completely flat, and then I can look underneath it to see if there's any bubbles because it's clear, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back to paint. All right, now that our phone case is completely cooled down and baked, we're going to go ahead and finish him off with some paint and then attach it to our phone case that it fits perfectly on. So let's get started. Let's finish this guy off. All right, now that he is painted, looking nice and creepy, let's make him even creepier with some clear casting resin. I'm using Alumilite clear casting resin. I'm mixing the hardener with the resin right now. And then of course, make sure that you wear all proper PPE when you use resin. It's toxic, it's not a toy. This isn't something for kids to be using, really. So just be careful. And I'm just going to stir it until all the swirls are gone. And because I'm not casting this, it's just going to be brushed onto my surface here. I don't have to worry about bubbles. Those are all going to pop. So I'm just stirring it as fast as I can. I'm going to brush it onto the mouth. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for 12 to 24 hours, and then we'll come back and glue it to the phone case. All right, now that the resin's cured, let's go ahead and glue this to our phone case with some E6000 industrial adhesive. Be careful with this stuff, don't breathe it in. And I'm just going to add it to the back of the design here, and then I'm going to spread it around with a disposable glue brush, and then I'm going to stick it onto the case and we'll be good to go. Right now I'm going to go ahead and secure it with some rubber bands for my Nerdy Crafter box. Now let it dry for 12 to 24 hours. Alright, let's make a sketchbook cover. I've got my blank sketchbook here. It's just a little hardcover one that's completely blank. And I'm going to design it on this side with this upside down just so I cover this ugly logo, and it doesn't matter because it goes both ways. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by covering the entire thing with a nice even sheet of clay, and then we'll go in and add our details. Alright, I've got my nice flat blank slate for my sketchbook cover. I'm going to go ahead and make it look like a carved pumpkin face. So first things first, I need to make the pumpkin surface texture. I need to create those ribs. So I'm just going to add more clay, and then we're going to go and carve in a face after that. So let's get started on these ribs. Alright, now we got those ribs on. Go ahead and add it back to the cover so I know where to trim it. Now, for the fun part, I'm going to texture this lightly just by running my spoon tool on the surface. Right now I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out how I want the face to look. Right now we've got the face figured out. I'm going to go ahead and carve it out using my Excel blade. Use code aceofclay at excelblades.com to save 15% on your next purchase. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove it from the book cover, and I'm going to be baking this on a sheet of glass from an old picture frame. And then we'll come back, attach it to the book, and then paint. So I'll be right back. Alright, now that the cover is baked and completely cooled down, it's time for paint. So let's just double check and see if it fits properly. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and paint this a nice pumpkin-y orange color. Do a little bit of shading, and then we'll glue it on. Alright, now once our cover is completely dry, I'm going to glue it on using some E6000 industrial adhesive. So what I'm going to do is put some on the back of my design, and I'm going to brush it on with this disposable glue brush. And then once it's positioned, I'm going to hold it in place. These are from my nerdy crafter box. Thank you, Jackie. You don't have to go crazy with the rubber bands, just enough to hold it in place. There you go. We're gonna set this aside for 12 to 24 hours, and then we'll be ready to draw on it. And they're done! The creepy monster mouth phone case and jack-o'-lantern sketchbook are complete. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed these projects. Let me know what you think of them in the comments, of course, and then let me know what you want to see from me next. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Ace of Clay. I'm also on TikTok, so check me out there, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.